I genuinely believe that I have a lot of hobbies and interests, but whenever someone asks me what I do for fun, I have nothing to say because there's no way I'm telling them that in my free time I play games made for 12-year-olds, listen to robots sing, watch adults play Minecraft, and make YouTube videos. Because that's embarrassing. So instead, I just go with my safe interests like baking or The Office. But that also leads to very few people actually knowing me well, and me not being able to fully be myself because I hide big parts of my life due to being afraid that people will judge me. This is basically like the most pathetic version of living a double life. And because of that, I do sometimes envy people who have more mainstream or popular tastes. Don't get me wrong, I do love the communities around my interests, but sometimes I envy how people who consume more popular or common content are, I guess, freer to express themselves and share their interests without being afraid that someone will judge them. And it's not like anime fans or whoever can't do that, but I do believe that it is easier and safer for people who have more mainstream interests because there's less judgment. For example, sometimes I envy people who listen to popular music because it is so easy to find other people who like the same music as you. And if someone asks you who your favorite artist is and you say Sabrina Carpenter, no one is going to judge you unless, of course, you're talking about her on the internet where everyone hates everyone. Or you're just surrounded by immature people. But generally, in real life, saying your favorite singer is Sabrina Carpenter is a pretty safe bet. But if someone were to ask me what I listen to, I'd probably lie and say something safe like Chappell Roan. And don't get me wrong, I do listen to her music, but she's not my favorite artist. But if I were to tell people the truth, they would probably hit me with a, "Who's that?" and then proceed to Google what vocaloid is in front of me and I die from embarrassment. Also, sometimes not listening to mainstream music makes me feel like a pick-me, or not like the other girls, or ooh, I'm so unique and different, even though I know that's not what I'm trying to do. I don't think mainstream artists are bad because there has to be some talent there to make them popular, and there are plenty of mainstream songs that I listen to. Plus, I don't look down on people who listen to mainstream music. I mean, that's most of my friends. So I don't think I'm trying to be all different and unique. I just happen to like more niche things. And also, isn't the goal of a pick-me to get men's attention? I promise you that's not what I'm trying to do. And I highly doubt that I would even achieve that by listening to Evan Bolka instead of Lana Del Rey. But I do know that people like that exist. I've met people who think they are better than the cringe normies who listen to Taylor Swift because they listen to cool, epic underground songs like To the Bone. But I hope it comes clear that I don't think I'm better than anyone who has mainstream interests. Honestly, I think I'm worse because I know nothing about celebrities or pop culture that I probably should be aware of. In middle school, the only content I really consumed was anime, YouTube, and video game related, to the point that I didn't really care about real celebrities, nor did I really watch shows with real people in them. And still now, my knowledge of singers, actors, and celebrities is really bad because for a long time I didn't care about them. And low-key still don't. But now when someone references a famous actor who everyone is expected to know, I feel embarrassed that I don't, and I just kind of smile and pretend that I know who they're talking about. Kind of the same with movies and TV shows. I've seen a relatively high amount of the classics by now, the ones that everyone has seen, but I don't keep up with the new series that Netflix puts out unless I'm really, really interested. A lot of my friends do, and that is a big part of conversations. And obviously they can talk about the shows they like. It would be selfish of me to demand that they never do that just because I can't contribute. But when everyone is talking about a show and you're just sitting there listening to the conversation, it can feel a bit lonely. And obviously this only happened every once in a while, it'll be fine. But when the shows you watch and the shows your friends watch are so different, but still make up a big part of who you both are as people, it can be difficult to connect because you have little common ground. I feel like the content you consume makes up a big part of who you are as a person, and if you're friends with someone where you have zero common ground, yeah, obviously you can still be friends and have a good friendship, but there will be big parts of your life that might be a bit difficult to talk about or express, if the other person doesn't understand it. And that can go both ways, for people who consume more mainstream content, and for people who consume more niche content. And obviously there are times when I watch my friends' shows because they told me it's good and I'm interested in their interests. But it can be disheartening if they never take interest in my shows because they have a preconceived notion that it's weird or embarrassing, or just jump on the hate train because everyone else says that the media sucks. And I'm no better. In middle school, I would say Sword Art Online is trash, even though I had never seen a single episode of Sword Art Online. But everyone else said that it sucked, so I agreed. So I get that reputation can make people not want to consume something that you like. But when people call the content you like embarrassing, it can sometimes feel like they're also calling you embarrassing. But I'm a bit hypocritical in this because there are some medias that I'm prejudiced against, and I refuse to watch. For example, I refuse to play Genshin Impact because the one time I tried, I got so annoyed at Paimon's voice that I turned the game off and never played again. But the Genshin community seems fun, and I'm sure that the game is good, so I know I'm missing out on a lot. But I don't care. Instead, I'm gonna go watch something that doesn't annoy me, like Hermitcraft. Speaking of which, I usually watch Hermitcraft or the Life series on the bus because typically the episodes are the same length as my bus rides. But I'll always lower my brightness and turn my back so I'm kind of sitting against the window because I don't want the person behind me judging me for being an adult who watches Minecraft videos. And the rational part of me is like, why does it matter? You're never going to see this person again. Why does it matter if Marialena behind you judges you for watching Minecraft? She probably doesn't even care, and if she does, she'll forget about it by the time she gets off the bus. And if she doesn't forget, then she really needs to get a life. But for some reason, I'm so embarrassed. And how would I know? Maybe Marialena is actually a massive fan of Hermitcraft. I wouldn't know, but I'm still afraid of her judging me. And I know the fear of judgment is stupid because what people consider embarrassing is completely subjective. There are things that I find normal that other people find embarrassing, and there are things I find embarrassing that other people find normal. In my opinion, what is considered embarrassing heavily depends on the type of people you're with. One group will find one thing embarrassing, and another will find something else embarrassing. And if you're hanging out with a group who thinks the things you're into are embarrassing, then find a group that doesn't, which is obviously easier said than done. And earlier I said that it's less embarrassing to be a Sabrina Carpenter fan, but that might not always be true because there's plenty of people who think her music is trash or being her fan is bad. Just like there's plenty of people who think vocaloid is embarrassing. And so because everything is embarrassing, just consume content you enjoy. And don't care if Marialena behind you is judging because so what? Luckily, now that I'm older, I found people with similar interests to me. And while I do think it's important to be friends with a wide variety of people, I think it is also important to have friends who are similar to you, because that way you can be yourself without the fear of being judged. Thanks for watching, and you should subscribe so you can add me to your list of embarrassing interests. Bye!